Now, one thing that people ask me over and over and over and over again is how to go about putting an aquarium in a wall. Now, it's actually quite simple. The first thing we want to do is choose the size of your aquarium. I want to suggest that you go for the biggest tank that you can, because in my 22 years of selling aquariums, never once has anyone come back and said, oh, I wish I got the small tank. So try and go for the biggest tank that you can, especially as far as going in a wall is concerned. Now, so the longer the better, within reason the wider the better, but then you've got to watch the height, because the higher the tank, the more lighting you'll need, the thicker the glass will need to be on the aquarium. So generally, if the aquarium is over 762 high, my opinion is that it looks awesome as long as it's someone else's, because they're quite hard to service. Whereas if you go for 762 high, if you put a measuring tape on the wall and look at 762, you'll think, oh, that's not very tall. But then actually when you see the aquarium installed, 762 is quite impressive, while still being relatively reasonable in price, because it usually can be in 12mm glass, not something ridiculous like 19mm that basically has to be craned. So once you've chosen the aquarium itself, the wider the better. If it is going to be a double-sided aquarium, it needs to be wide enough to allow you to build rock structure on both sides. A thin aquarium that's double-sided is going to be very hard to decorate. So you're going to need to make a nice flat level surface for the aquarium to sit on. So making a construction with basically 4x2s or steel, just to give you a nice strong flat level surface. To work out the temperature, the weight of the aquarium, it's roughly one kilo is going to be 1 litre of water. So if you work out the length times the width times the height in centimetres divided by 1,000, it gives you litres. Then the next thing we do, so we build a nice big strong frame. We're then usually going to put down a sheet of marine ply or construction ply or something that's nice and flat. Then you're normally going to put, say, some 10mm polystyrofoam on top of that. Then you've got the frame. You're also going to usually put a filter at the bottom of the aquarium. So when you're building it, you usually don't put your leg in at the start. So you might have, for example, your sump filter, which also needs to be on a flat level surface. So let's say that here is a flat level surface. Then there's the floor. So that's got to be a flat level surface, also on foam. Flat level surface, flat level surface. Then in a perfect world, if it's possible, you might be able to arrange a tap, so then you can easily set up a water change unit or get water to the unit. And in a perfect world, you might be able to put a drain, if you possibly can. Now, once the frame's in, you put the sump in. Once the sump's in, you might put your extra leg in, just to make sure that you got plenty of strength. Normally you want to have a leg at least every 600. Then over-engineering is better. Over-engineer it the most you can. Then you decide on where your plumbing is going to be. For example, you might put some plumbing that might go through the side of the aquarium, which means there's a strainer here for the water to go in. Then you might have a filter of some description. You might have a protein skimmer if it's salt water. You may have a chiller if it's having temperature issues. Make sure there's good ventilation on the cabinet, and if you are going to have a chiller, make sure there's good ventilation in front of the chiller. And also it's good to paint the inside of your cabinetry with a waterproof paint to stop the wood bloating and so forth. You can make it look however you want on the outside, but on the inside use like a rubber based waterproof paint. Then you may have a water pump here, you may have a heater there. Then the water pump might go to something like a UV, which may then go back and return water to the aquarium again. So this whole structure is put in place. Then you come along later on and you might finish off the gyprock, which might go straight down like this, and may go straight down like this. You may put some nice modern cabinet doors on the front, thinking of ventilation. A lot of people like the top to be open, so they'll get like a smart sort of either pendant or Euro style LED lights to send the light, and a lot of people will go for an open top these days. If you want to enclose it because it's actually going into a wall itself, then when you do enclose it, you might put cabinet doors that are going to be something like that. You want to have maximum access to the top of the aquarium and maximum access to the sump, so it all needs to be able to be opened up. So then, and when you close the top in, I tend to close it down about 5 centimeters because I like to make a feature of the water surface. Some people will close it down past the water surface, which will give the tank a bit more of a pastel look, as opposed to, I think, seeing the water surface just gives the aquarium a lot of energy. So basically, we've got a nice strong sturdy stand, we've got some ply, we've got some foam, we've also got foam down there, and nice strong substrate. We might have a drain, we might have a tap. You also might have say an RO unit, which allows the water to go straight in with the top up valve and top the sump up if you wished. You might have a heater down in the sump. You'll have your biological media, mechanical media, possibly a protein skimmer, possibly a chiller, a inlet to the filter, an outlet to the filter, maybe an extra power head or return pump for agitating the surface of the tank further. Consider your lighting, but all in all, it's quite simple. Choose the size of your tank, build yourself a nice strong frame, enclose it, allowing maximum accessibility, and it sort of is that simple. It's not terribly expensive, and how much it can add value to your house is staggering. If you watch this channel, Majestic Aquariums TV, you'll see a lot of videos that we've posted of various tanks at various stages while we're installing into the wall. Another thing that's cool too is you put glass airline rods in the corner, that if it is a freshwater tank, so you might run an air pump, run the airline straight through the airline rod so you can't see the airline and stuff, so the bubbles just come out of nowhere. Anyway, watch a few more videos on this channel, get yourself a few ideas, put a plan together, send me an email, which is shop@majesticaquariums.com.au. let me know what you're going to do. I'm more than happy to comment and get involved, and yeah, love to be involved in your dream to put an aquarium in the wall. So many people that actually put an aquarium in the wall just say that it's such a wonderful feature of the house, they really wish they'd done it earlier. It is worth the money.